the governor of Kaduna State alleged that some people within the villa, or within the government, right? Within the villa, acting, doing everything possible to obstruct peaceful transition. No, see, on a more serious note, one thing I can assure you is that no matter who, this administration is focused and determined to ensure a free and fair election. And I think this administration, and those that matter now, who was the most important person in this administration to me is Mr. President. And I think he has shown by words and by deed that he is committed to a free, fair, and credible election. And fair, free, and credible election actually means not favoring anybody or disadvantaging anybody. And everywhere he goes, he makes that very clear. Even as recently as Friday, when he was in Daura, he said the same thing. So if there's anybody who's working against any candidate, we don't know officially. Now, the other question about the Transparency International rating of Nigeria, and my position is the same. Well, you see, we're not fighting corruption because we want to impress Transparency International or any organization whatsoever. We are fighting corruption because we believe if you don't fight corruption, there will be no growth, either in terms of, the economy or even political. Therefore, what we do and what we have put in place to fight corruption is not because we want to be rated by anybody. If, for instance, what we are doing catches the attention of Transparency International and they improve and they give us better marks, so well and good. However, I can assure you that we do not, as a government, know what template TI is using. But whatever template they are using is clearly oblivious of what this administration is doing to fight corruption. Corruption fighting is not just by how many people have you arrested, how many people have you tried, how many people have you convicted. Of course, that even in that respect, we have a very impressive record. Is it EFCC? Is it ICPC? But you see, you should look at what we are doing even to make corrupt practices almost impossible or difficult. I'll just give you two examples. For instance, this administration, when funds were returned from the Abacha loot and other funds were recovered from the US and the UK and Europe, what the administration did was, rather than pay these funds into the treasury and face the possibility of it being stolen or being relooted, the administration decided that we'll put this money in a separate account. We asked, I think, the NSIA to manage this account, and we'll use this money for specific projects. And some of our legacy projects today are actually being financed by money that have been stolen, which have been returned, and which have kept in one place. To me, this is an example of how to fight corruption. It's an example of how to ensure that people do not steal what has been recovered again. I make proud to say that we have been more proactive in fighting corruption, but people are not willing to see those things that we have put in place in fighting corruption. And that's why I gave you that example of, putting aside money that has been returned for specific projects so that we can monitor how those funds are being used. Now, again, the courage of this administration, even to expose high-ranking, officials of the administration who have run foul of the law, is evidence of our determination and courage to fight corruption. So we are not really worried or bothered about the rating of the TI, because we know that everything we do is to ensure that we fight corruption the best way we know how to do. But like I said, if TI is not seeing this, then I think they might have to change their template. But again, we're not fighting corruption to impress them.